Yo guys, welcome to the last part of the series. Today we're gonna be mixing and mastering everything. So the first thing is to know if you are happy with your arrangement and everything. So we're gonna listen to our track now and see if there's anything we wanna add to the last and final steps here. So there are some things here. The saxophone is not really matching up. I think I'm gonna find a new sound. You can see how easy it is to go in here. Just click on saxophone and we can change this. Actually, I'm gonna try this one. This could maybe work. To select the right layer. This could work. I have to listen to it from here. So if you like this new saxophone, it's really working better. So we can actually go in here and clone the saxophone layer, and from here I know a sound where it is working pretty well. So I feel like this saxophone missing some top area frequencies, the highs a bit, so this also will help the track a lot. With this horn here, I'm gonna remove the reverb. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna make a new insert. Gonna make sure our layer is selected. Gonna rename this to horn. And then select our preset here. So we have made the Kickstarter, some EQ and OTT on it, so it sounds much more fuller. So we're gonna try to see if this new thing is working. Gonna copy our saxophone and make a new layer, new pattern. Also rename that. If we wanna change something, let us see if this new drop actually work. So I like to listen from the drop and make it go all the way through the end. And here we're gonna make sure we bring out the new pattern, the horn we just made, to the second drop. And I'm also missing one more file, so we just gonna drag this guy also over there and just copy the files over to our second drop and just color this so it's all look good. There we go. And let's take a listen and see what we could mix and master here. And look at that, completely different sound now, much fresher now, definitely increasing the track so dramatically. it's sounding much more cleaner now and much better. I feel like around there could work. So let us go ahead and make some mastering track. Also the project will be available free, link in the description below. So I feel like we are happy with everything. We can just go and turn up some things here. So I really like to go with far filter. Equalizer for this. This has more advanced settings than the normal equalizer for Studio. So first thing is to make a low cut filter here. Set this to 15. Set this to 1. And next step is go to channel mode. Go to mid and side. Here we're gonna make a new low cut. Something like that. I'm gonna set this to side. And over here we're gonna make a high cut. And let us see if there are any changes. So our mix is not gonna sound, it's pretty much gonna sound the same, but it's important to have some of the sides removed. So go ahead and select this also and click stereo placement and side. So when you do this you have to be very careful. This is just small little details that will make the sound much cleaner. Into some sounds it's gonna clean up all of the low but from the side, and this is gonna clear some of the high elements also. So it's important for you when you do this, you have to listen to every elements in the mastering channel, because if your mix doesn't sound great, the mastering process which we're doing now is not gonna be sounding so great as well. So your mix have to stand out, it has to be good, and your mastering just have to turn up the volume, make some elements cleaner, and that's it, basically it. And for every time we add a plugin to this master channel, we have to listen to the final mix and see if there's anything gonna be changed. Are the sides okay? Are the lows okay for this effect? Will this affect your drop? And so just have to be careful and listen to every single part of these mixing plugins that you're adding to your channel. Let us go ahead and listen to the track now with this new equalizer plugin to it. You're not gonna hear this huge difference, which is very good, but you can see we have cleaned up so much of the lows and some of the high elements, but you don't really hear it, so this is very perfect. So here we're going go to our compressor, also from far filter. Display to mastering and have this much more turned up. Let's plugin. I really like to turn up the threshold and the ratio. The attack I like to keep it a bit more down. Sometimes I using this width gain you see to the right side here. I turn them a bit more up, and for the style I like to keep it on mastery on the display. And for this little drop menu that's called Sidechain, I don't really use. I usually leave the stuff like is in there. But it's different from track to track. So just make sure it's not making anything huge difference to this drop. So this is helping a little bit, but you don't really hear this huge difference. But for this layer, we're gonna select Saturator. Recommend you get this one all from FabFilter. So we're gonna turn this up, and the saturation is just to give the track more color and warmness. Around 25, I like to keep it. We have already made this plugin here to the side. This is just helping the track spread out some of the stereo frequencies, get the track a bit more popping out. So set this to mono, set this to -100. Around here is the bass mid area. Here are some of the top and the very high end here. So I like to keep it around here, just turn it up a bit, make sure it's not affecting our track too much. But these two elements here, like the saturator and imager, really help. So we have this plugin chain for now. We have the Equalizer, Compressor, Saturator, stereo imager, and we have limiter. You can see here that our track can go all the way up. You see this white line here, that is the signal. Top here is 0. So you can see here around -6 to here. This is really great if you can get this track up here. I like to keep it around here. Forgot to tell, if we turn all of these up, we have to keep the mixing all of these areas and elements here very low. We have to turn them a lot more down, and here we can see that they are not distorting our track in any way. So keep that in mind, because these elements over here in the mastering phase are just gonna be turning up the volume for us. So you have to keep our mix and everything low and make sure that sound great before we go into this. So feel like our track is doing that. We're gonna select a new plugin here. This is coming from TR Limiter. So here I'm gonna select it to clip. I'm not gonna change the tag time or release. Just gonna leave it here. So let us see how much we can turn this up before the track is distorting. So here I can see some frequencies definitely not popping out yet. So I'm just gonna turn up the stereo more. And this is what we wanna see up here. In this phase you can see it's going to a diamond, and this is really good. If you can get your track up there. So trying to keep around -6 and make this to a diamond. Without distorting the track. So we have to turn this stereo a bit more down, so it's just some finish elements. To find the highest level of your track and go with that. And from here we can even make a new plug-in here and turn this a bit more up in some of the mid frequencies. So go to ozone 8 and we're just gonna select the equalizer. So get rid of all of this stuff. And from here we also have a mid. So we're gonna click this to the left side here. Let us just first save a project. Place that. So we might have to turn some of the elements down, like our limiter here. And also scroll this up. So we're gonna set it to side. You can see how much is. And here we can solo it. And we can see it changing here. So it's only going this way. And if we put it up here to mid, you can really get this kick pumping a lot more. So you usually go around here for the kick. This is a really effect to give it some more body. And scroll it a bit more down, make sure this sound, and you can also solo the mid. It's giving a lot more punchy to our kick, so something like that, small changes. I'm gonna see if this track sounds great now. You just have to play around with your limiter. Be careful not to overdo the limiter and distort the track. But if everything is sounding good to you, then it's out there. But these tools like the span and the TR metering here I'm using is helping a lot with your production. You can see that it has to go to a diamond. You can try to add more compressor to your drums maybe, or you can try to get more EQ, do some EQ things with your drums. But I really recommend you getting some of these tools, especially the TR metering is helping so much more. See the visualizing image of this track also, and I really recommend you guys get it. And also I'm gonna show you another trick to make the drop even more harder, so stay tuned here. Here we're going to select our kick and bass. We can hear they are a bit more distorting. You really have this nice body here, so just be careful not to, so they're not distorting. Just be careful with them. So when we listen to the kick and bass, our elements should be good and not distorting, so we don't get this smudness in our final mix. So here we're going to, so if you are happy with the kick and your bass, this really is very great news. We can move on here, and yeah, it's sounding full, but now we're even gonna make this sound so much sicker. Check this out. We're going to select our equalizer on our mastery channel, plug in on the left side here for the whole mix. We're going to type, and here we're going to select high pass. We're going to make this to 4 here. We're going to make this all the way up, turn it all the way up, turn up the frequencies, make an automation clip. So here, just gonna name this also. So here we can turn it all the way down. We want the bass to be played, but here we can, right before the drop, we can make some of the basses out completely, so there's no bass. It's gonna fade out. Very here, make sure it's not going too high, and it's starting on a build-up. And we can just see it's hitting so much more harder. Maybe this is a bit too much to fade out, I feel like. So we're just gonna go like something like this. Make sure we copy this to our second part of the drop, and make sure the bass is playing, of course, in the drop, because sometimes FL Studio just make it go up here, you see before. So we have to turn it down. When it's down here at the bottom, the track is gonna be played with bass. It is gonna affect the whole track, so be very careful. Just make sure everything is right. So here we're going to select the same. Feel like the buildup is coming in here. So we're gonna set our tracker here. Gonna delete some of this. This don't really need. Gonna set it up again, something like that. And you can see it's just doing this annoying stuff again where it's going. And here we got it. We can just drag it to here. Just gonna cut it there. And this is how you make the drop so much harder. So we're removing some of the frequencies, especially for the low ends for this track. And this is how a professional gonna master it. This is a very cool tip to know, to make the drop hit so much harder in the drop, because you are removing some of the elements like the bass here. If you're happy with your mix, just save it and try to send it to maybe another producer first, or a friend that could get your feedback. Also try to listen to this if you have multiple options to listen to the track to. You can check it with your speakers, you can check it headphones, you can check it on another room, you can check it in the car. If it has Bluetooth, just put it in there, and this will help the track get the best mix of it. Has to sound great everywhere. Definitely another option, just to take a break and play your track like in your friend's house and see if it's sounding good there, because you will definitely be surprised to it not sounding like the same you are mixing at home. Definitely if you go to your car, I assure you it's not gonna sound the same. I think this is gonna be the end of this series. Thank you guys so much. Please leave a like for this video. I'm gonna be linking up this FLP, the whole project, everything you see here, from the mix and mastering to the presets to everything will just be in it, guys. Please consider to subscribing to this channel as well. I really love to make this series, and I really hope you get something out of it. Yeah guys, I hope you're gonna enjoy the week. Peace.